What is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? Welcome back here today to a video where we're going to be talking about 10 NBA players that have had somewhat of a disappointing start to this year's season. So this could be by poor play, they've just been inefficient or just disappointing in that aspect, injured or suspended to start the season. So yeah, I got 10 guys that I want to talk about. If you guys have any other video suggestions on NBA related topics, let me know in the comment section below. Also, I'd really appreciate if we could hit over 850 likes on this video. And without further ado, let's get into it. So the first two players we are going to talk about are the only two players on this list that are due to injury. And the first one is Caris Levert. Now, Caris Levert has had a fine start to the season. If you're looking at his points, rebounds, and assists, averaging 17, 5, and 4, which is what you would want out of Caris Levert going into his fourth NBA season. But last year, he started off the regular season very hot as well. We all thought he could be in the most improved player conversation, but then he got hurt. And this year, the same thing happened. So Levert underwent thumb surgery and he's out 4 to 6 weeks with ligament damage. And that is just a really disappointing thing to happen because Levert, he is 25 years old and you would expect him, because Kyrie is missing a little bit of time too with his own injury, to step up, but unfortunately, he's out. Caris Levert is fresh off that new contract extension he got in the offseason. We expected big things this year from Caris Levert because no Kevin Durant, he had a chance to shine this year because next season, he will be the third scoring option when KD comes back. And yeah, you just really hope that he would be healthy for most of the season, and this is just disappointing to start his year. The next player is somebody that has yet to play this year, and it's not really his fault, but yeah, it's Zion Williamson. Zion was honestly the most talked about name going into this year's season. He made the Pelicans one of the more exciting teams to watch. They got plenty of primetime games because of him alone. He was killing it in the preseason and he had such high hopes and was obviously the #1 favorite for Rookie of the Year. But he underwent arthroscopic knee surgery to repair his torn right meniscus and he's out from 6 to 8 weeks. He'll be back around Christmas time, which is just super upsetting because obviously we all wanted to see Zion right away in the NBA. But yeah, let's hope this isn't any long-term effect on his NBA career. But yeah, it's disappointing to say the least that we won't get Zion for the first quarter of the season. We'll stay on the Pelicans, and the next player we're going to talk about is Jrue Holiday. So David Griffin was hyping up Jrue Holiday all offseason and was saying that he could be an MVP candidate this year. And with the Zion injury, we thought that Jrue Holiday would be the one stepping up, but it was Brandon Ingram instead. Jrue Holiday's playing around 35 minutes a night and taking about 16.5 shots a game, which you like to see, but he's doing it on really poor efficiency with a 44% effective field goal percentage, which is because he's shooting 32% from 3 and 43% from 2s. He's actually been not an amazing defender like he usually is this year, but the Pelicans have had a ton of injuries. Lonzo, Ingram, Hart. Obviously, Holiday's missed a little bit of time, I believe, so far this year. Yeah, Jrue Holiday has missed 2 games so far. But yeah, you just expected Jrue to have a better start to the season and put up #1 scoring option numbers. But Brandon Ingram has taken over that role on the Pelicans with Zion out. But yeah, Jrue Holiday, disappointing start to the 2019-2020 season. Now, the next player we're going to talk about is somebody that I was huge on going into this year. I don't know if it's coaching, I don't know if it's scheme or whatever, but Lowry Markkanen has been nothing short of disappointing this year. Markkanen's averaging 14 points and 7.5 rebounds on 36, 27, 84 splits. So yeah, his effective field goal percentage is 43%. His true shooting is 51%. His defense hasn't been that great this year. He's playing 30 minutes a night. And you expected Lowry Markkanen going into his third season, where he kind of had a really good sophomore year last year, has gotten off to a rough start. If you look at the Bulls' recent draft history, it hasn't been bad. They got Zach LaVine in the Jimmy Butler trade. They got Markkanen with the pick as well in that trade. Drafted Kobe White, drafted Wendell Carter Jr. So they have these really nice young players, but the rebuild just feels weird. They just feel like they're all not going to connect well. I don't really know like how LaVine connects to Carter, connects to Markkanen, and then one of them is going to connect to White. It's really weird, and you'd expect Markkanen to kind of be the best player out of those guys, or at least he's the player with the highest ceiling. But yeah, Lowry Markkanen's been very disappointing in his first 14 games this season, and we're just going to hope he turns it around. But yeah, he's definitely going to come in on this list. Moving over to Miami now, we're going to be talking about Justise Winslow. Justise Winslow got hurt this year already. He's only played 5 games. He got hurt with the concussion. He's missed 7 games with that concussion so far. And before he got hurt, he really wasn't playing all that well, at least on the offensive end. He's actually being a fine player, or he was a fine player in that small sample size on the defensive side of the ball. But we expected this development from 23-year-old Point Winslow. He was just averaging 14 points and 5 assists and 8 rebounds. I mean, that is a nice slash line, but he's shooting 25% from 3. He's shooting 39% from the field. He was not efficient whatsoever. His assist percentage was actually down from last year, which is just something you wouldn't want to see. Because you'd expect with the additions of Jimmy Butler, the emergence of Kendrick Nunn, Tyler Hero, you'd expect him to be kind of in at least higher percentile in assist ratio, but it just wasn't there so far. And mainly it's coming because of the injury on that he's being on this list. But yeah, Justise Winslow's been disappointing, only played 5 games, hasn't been too efficient on the offensive end. He's going to come in with a rightful spot, I believe, in this video. The next 2 players I'm going to talk about pretty quickly, but they are both here because of suspension. The first one is DeAndre Ayton, the #1 overall pick in the 2018 draft. Got suspended for diuretics, and yeah, he only played 1 game this season, and he looked really good. He scored 18 and 11 and played arguably the best defensive game of his career in that game. He had 4 blocks in that game as well. But yeah, he was suspended 25 games. That's more than a quarter of the season. It's just really disappointing to see from DeAndre Ayton. And then the other player that was suspended was John Collins. Collins was tested positive for growth hormone releasing peptide. Don't know what that is, but yeah, he's suspended 25 games, which is a super big disappointment after his breakout sophomore year. He was coming off a almost 20 and 10 season. He started off the season averaging 17 and 8.5 on pretty solid efficiency. He was shooting 47% from 3 as well. His defense actually didn't look that bad to start the year either, and with the obviously Trae Young is balling out and he's becoming one of the best passers in the league, you'd expect Collins to emerge with him. So it's just super disappointing to see the 22-year-old get suspended. We're going to stay in Atlanta here with another young player. This player is a rookie, and that is Cam Reddish. I'm recording this on November 19th, so if anything happens between now and when you guys are seeing this on November 23rd, don't hate me, please. But yeah, people are calling at this moment Cam Reddish the worst rotational player in the NBA this season. He's averaging 7 points and 4 rebounds on 27% from the field, 18% from 3. And he's playing 24 minutes a night too. He started 11 out of the 13 games this season. His defense has been pretty bad, but his offense has been somehow worse. Now, it is only a small sample size. It's his first 13 games for crying out loud. So I'm not going to say like this is what we're going to get for him for his whole career. He's just been disappointing to start the year because a lot of people were kind of high on him and thought he was a steal at pick 10 in the draft. We're going to move over here to one of the bigger offseason acquisitions via trade in the offseason, and that's Mike Conley. Conley has been pretty disappointing to start the year. I know I'm saying disappointing a lot will help. That's the title of the video. But yeah, 15 points, 4 assists on 36, 33, 76 splits. Free throw percentage down 10%. 2-point field goal percentage down 10%. His 3-point percentage is down. His field goal percentage is down 7% as well, and he's just getting to the line less per game. His assist totals are at an all-time low. I mean, he did average 4.1 assists in 2017-18, but he only played 12 games that season. So the first 13 games, he's averaging 4.1 assists. So we're going to probably expect that to go up. Obviously, it's Mike Conley. He's going to get better. So he's at his lowest points per game total since his 2011-12 season. But yeah, Mike Conley, he's a vet. He's going to get better. Obviously, it's a new adjustment for him. He's playing with a bunch of new players. Obviously, everybody on that team he has never played with before. But you guys know I was super high on Mike Conley and the Jazz going into this year. The Jazz have been good, but Mike Conley has not. So let's hope that he's going to have a bounce back season for these next 70 games. Second to last player we are going to talk about is Julius Randle of the New York Knicks. Now, we did have the best game of his season as a Knick the other night against the Cavs, where he had 30 points and was 12 for 17 from the field while being 3 for 5 from downtown. But I have a bone to pick with Julius Randle. I really like the acquisition for the Knicks when they got him after striking out on Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Kawhi Leonard, whatever. But yeah, he's been super disappointing. 16.5 points, 9 rebounds a game, which is, yeah, that's nice. But if you look at his efficiency, 44% from the field, and I don't know why he's still taking 3.5 threes a game, because he's shooting 24% from that arc. He's taken 50 threes this year, and he's only hit 12 of them. He brings up the ball, which leads to him having 3.5 turnovers a game, which is a career high. I don't know why Fizdale allows him to still bring the ball up. He's actually done a really nice job on the offensive glass, though. I'll give him credit for that. But yeah, free throw percentage at a career low, shooting 62% from there, and he's getting to the line 5 times a night. His defense has been pretty lackadaisical because he sometimes doesn't try, or he gives up on plays, which you hate to see from the New York Knicks' new $20 million man. He's been a negative player so far this year, but let's hope that game against the Cavs was a signs for good things to come. And the last player, and probably the best player on this list we are going to talk about, is Ben Simmons. Now, Ben Simmons, you guys saw all the off-season workout videos where he was draining threes. But still, this year, he has yet to attempt a three-pointer, which it's sad to see, because guys like Andre Drummond have attempted threes this year. It doesn't hurt, Ben. Take a three. He's averaging a career low 13.5 points a game, a career low 7.1 assists per game, and a career low 6 rebounds a game. He's playing 33 minutes a night, so he still has a high volume there. The ball is still in his hands. He is taking 10.5 shots a game, but they're all twos, obviously. He's only getting to the line 3 times a night, and he's shooting 56% from the line. So, yeah, it's been pretty bad for Ben Simmons this year. His defense is still really good. I'm not going to knock on him for that, but it's just... he hasn't attempted to take a three yet, which is just really annoying to see, because as their point guard, he needs to spread the floor. He needs to space out that Sixers offense. But I think Ben Simmons will definitely bounce back, and I won't have him on the next video of the 10 most disappointment players in the season, I hope. So if you were counting, that was actually 11 players that I didn't mention, because I threw DeAndre Ayton and John Collins into the same slot. So yeah, we had Caris Levert, Zion Williamson, Drew Holiday, Lowry Markkanen, Justise Winslow, DeAndre Ayton, John Collins, Cam Reddish, Mike Conley, Julius Randle, and then Ben Simmons. So yeah, let me know in the comments, do you agree with my list? Do you disagree with my list? Is there anybody on this list that I shouldn't have put on this list? Or is there anybody that I didn't put on this list that I should have put on this list? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. But yeah, if we get it over 850 likes, I would really appreciate that. So that's going to be for me. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you guys that watch these non-rebuild videos. It means a lot to me. I hope you guys have a great day. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.